Hey guys, China in town here with the video. Somewhat long awaited, I guess. It's debatable, up for discussion if you want to call it that, but because I predominantly before was posting gaming videos on here for a while, but then life gets in the way. Life gets in the way. You get older, you learn, grow, become, learn things to do, what not to do, things like that. You know what I'm saying? This week I quit my job. It was you can call it a 9 to 5, but technically I was working 6 to 6, which was like 12-hour shifts. I had 3 days at work, 4 days off, and essentially I was getting burnt out from it. It's just corporate America is just it's killing us slowly. It really is, and it's just a system that I wouldn't wish on anybody. And looking at it and looking through it and being in it, I'm gonna have to say and agree, like it's really just a new modern form of slavery for everybody. Like, we're just all stuck working nonstop and slaving away. Everybody's tired. Everybody's expressing their burnt out, things like that. And it's just no way. It's like you feel like there's no way out.
Anybody jumps to conclusions, let me just say this. I didn't call off because I didn't want to work. I called off because my anxiety has been at an all-time high. And I've been pushing myself past my limit for a long time, y'all. Okay? Every day before I work, I prep talk myself. I give myself affirmations. I tell myself,
Today I wanted to talk about I quit my job and why Black women, we need to all just leave the workforce, leave the 9 to 5s, and do what we got to do, because it's just getting so bad out here. It's just like work-life balance is terrible. You're working your life away, and then if you're single, they're taxing the hell out of you for stuff. It's stupid. It's all a scam. It's all a scam. It's one big fat giant scam, y'all. Like, me and this potato are saying it's a scam, and you're like, China, why are you holding a potato? And I got a potato cutter here too. I'm about to make potato salad, so just watch me as I'm cutting up this potato. We can talk about some stuff. So I don't know where to even fucking start. So I had originally made another video, but I erased all of it because it was just for one too long. We'll just talk about why I left my job. The job I was at, I was doing security. I was working at a hospital for like a year, like 6-7 months. A year and a half or so, over a year and a half. Just witnessing everything. I thought the grass would be greener. Don't get me wrong, I was making good money. Security, it's a good paying job, but you make good money because you're basically essentially risking your life to protect other people. Security, that's one top paying job. Over time, it just got burnt out and just started peeping stuff, and the favoritism, the micromanaging from managers, it was just like, and for me, it was really just the management. It wasn't really the issue of like my coworkers or like the patients and guests and customers and stuff per se, but it was just really just the management. Like, they kept pulling me into the office for stuff. Like, when I was a good worker, I go in there and do my job, and it's just like, witnessing things like my attendance, for example. I got a write-up for my attendance one time, and yet there was literally somebody there that literally is like 12, 15 points. And mind you, if you get to 8 points, you're basically terminated. But they let some officer stay there. He was at like 15 to 12 points. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, I had gotten a write-up, and then on top of that too, they had me working with somebody that literally like threatened me. Like, I'm not gonna say exactly what she said because I don't want you two to be on some mess and copy, striking me and stuff. I'm like, but it's just like, it made me super uncomfortable to work with her for a long time. It's just like they still forced me to work with her. She never really got in trouble. Like, she got a write-up, of course, but it wasn't really even fully firmly because of the threat, but more so because her professionalism, because she was being messy with other coworkers and stuff, and other coworkers didn't like that, so they were like, yeah, we're gonna write you up for that shit, so just stop. But I still had to work with her ass. I was like, what the hell? And then even before I started working that security job, I was working in the coffee shop at that same hospital for about 8-9 months before I got. And again, it was just once again, the management. you know, just couldn't see eye to eye, and they didn't want to see eye to eye. And that's the thing about it. It's just like, you guys want to, you know, you guys are expecting slaves, and the minute you speak up, here they go having an issue. Like, you're just public enemy number one because you're speaking out and speaking up. And it's just like, yeah, I'm the type of person, I'm an advocate for myself. And I had my coworkers, they would tell me like, China, don't. It's like, why not? Like, they're being wrong here, you know? And it's just like, I'm not going to stand for that stuff like that. And on top of that, I don't like being told what to do all like that either. It's just like, I'm an Aries, I'm my own boss. I don't want to, like, telling me what to do. I'm a grown adult. Like, I spent my whole life as a kid being told what to do. Like, I got to do it again as an adult. Like, this makes no damn sense. I also posted a TikTok about this, you know, walking out my job and stuff like that, this past week.
Hey, TikTok, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Tuesday and doing good for themselves. Y'all done took the leap of faith. And I said, you know what, fuck this bullshit. And I'm leaving y'all where y'all got me fucked up at. I walked out my job today. I walked out. Y'all, yes. I mean, really, if this comes up on your For You page and you're a black woman specifically that's like, oh my God, I'm tired of these fucking jobs. Like, I'm ready for the next big move. Take this as your sign to move, because I walked out my fucking job.
Today is it's the 19th. No, today is the 21st. But when I did this, it was like the 18th. So it was like that Tuesday. And I was coming in expecting it to be a regular day. And then what the final blow was for me to just be like, fuck this place, I'm out, was they had scheduled me once again. And this is again like the favoritism, you know, just the funny actingness for management and stuff like that. I just wasn't with it. So they had scheduled me, like, literally, essentially I was scheduled at the same place I was at yesterday. And mind you, you know, you'd be like, China, what's wrong with that? Like, you okay, just do the job, you know? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Well, to me it was. Shoot, nobody's gonna stop me how I feel on that. But what it was how, like, looking at the schedule of everybody else had different rotations of where to go to. Mine was still the same from yesterday, and was like, why is that? And mind you, this was one of the that rotation I had got done was one of the busier rotations. So basically all day I'm, you know, doing security, and I was just like nonstop checking bags because I was unarmed security. I wasn't doing like full, like, had like a pew-pewer and stuff like that. But like just checking, it's basically essentially a bag checker, door greeter type of thing. They had me kept having me back to back, like just in the same spot. And I'm just like, you know what, I just got so tired of it. I could be at home doing something else, you know, and just wasting my time away. Gotten to the point where I feel like I know my purpose in life now. And it's just like, I want to start creating stuff. I want to start doing stuff. Like, I don't want to do this stuff. I don't want to do the security stuff forever. It just got to the point where I was just thinking, I was just like, at my second rotation post, and I was just like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm just so sick and tired of it. Because my last day was supposed to be the 19th, but I walked out the 18th. But I was just like, I can't do this no more. It's just like, it's just so draining. It's brain numbing. Like, I feel like a zombie here. Like, I'm not growing. I'm not doing anything. Like, management already, you know, was on some BS with me. Instead of giving me grace and compassion and, you know, willing to work with me, they just kind of like tossed my feelings aside, because I had expressed to them before all this even went down, you know, I was burnt out. You know, they gave me a write-up because of my attendance. And they were like, and the manager asked, like, is there anything we could do? And I told them straight up, I'm like, is there a way, for one, that like the point system, we could fix, like, look into this and get a better point system? Because, you know, 8, that adds up so quick, because if you call off, it's 1 point. If you come in late, it's like half a point. And it's like, that adds up so quick. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it's not that I didn't want to work or nothing, but it's just like, I'm just tired. And, you know, people are like, that must be such a dream to do 12 hours and have 4 days off. No, not really. Because it's just like, it just basically doing it for so long, it just basically turned into like another 9 to 5, you know, instead of just the 2 days you have off, dreading my 4 days off and just getting ready for work again. It's just like, and it just got tiring. Like, it just didn't give me any work-life balance. Like, I just felt like I wasn't free to do whatever I wanted to do. And the money, again, like I was saying, like the money was good, but, you know, it was really only good when you worked overtime. Like, any other time, it's literally like your paycheck, like, depending on how much you got paid, it wasn't even that much. It's like, I'm like, geez, you know, and mind you, I got a bachelor's degree, and I'm just like, I should be making money, you know, off rip because of my degree. Like, I thought as millennials, we were told, like, this is what we were supposed to do. Go to college, get an education. That's what I did. I did it the right way. Entering the workforce, it still wasn't enough. It's just like, still like, all these setbacks and still finding a job, and the job market's a hot ass mess. It's just like, I'm done with all of it. Like, the whole aspect of a 9-to-5. I'm done with it. I'm just like, I deserve better. I deserve to live within my truth and do what I love to do and, let the money follow. But I couldn't do that because I was working this damn security job where, I just didn't feel appreciated, and I felt like the job was a cult. And I was like, I'm just going to do what's best for me, and I walked the fuck out that day. And apparently it got to the point where everybody was so worried and, traumatized and fearful of me. I guess they called the cops on my door for a wellness check, and I'm just like, babes, leave me the fuck alone. Like, I walked out. Like, that's all I did, Came in the next day. I'm going to show y'all a video. I came in the next day, gave them my uniforms, and actually not even just my uniforms. I gave them like all again, like this job was a cult, I swear, because we always get t-shirts and stuff. They gave us like book bags and everything and all this other stuff, like cups and stuff. I sent all that back to them. I said, we're going to shove this shit in this bag that they gave me and giving it all back. So I'm heading over to my job. This is my book bag and all my uniforms and other miscellaneous stuff they given me over the year and some months I've been there, and I just don't want none of it. So yeah, they're gonna take it all fucking back. So yeah, I forgot to put my jacket in the bag though, and then I was like, I got back home and I looked at it. I said, fuck, I forgot to throw it away. So you know what I forgot to give it back. So you know what I did? I went outside, I threw it in the trash. So I was like, I don't want nothing to do with this job anymore. I'm not planning to go back. I really don't. I feel like my life purpose now is just to do my own thing, do my own business and be happy and be content with that. I'm just trying to get all the So yeah, I have no regrets walking out. Everybody was like, all my coworkers the next day when I came in, they were like, China, we were so worried about you and stuff like that. Where'd you go? Everything okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just done. I'm just burnt the fuck out with this job. It's just like, day in, day out, it was the same thing. Rinse and repeat. Check bags, check people going through the detector. If they beep, check them again. And it just got so annoying. And then on top of that too, back in July, they started doing associate screening. So we had to screen through all the doctors, nurses, all the people that worked in the hospital. We had to start screening them. Do you think we got paid extra for that? Do you think we got a bonus of any sort? No, we did not. We did not get a bonus. We didn't get a pay raise or nothing. They gave us some Inspire points though. Like, we got Inspire points, but the fuck is that? And it wasn't even I think it was 100 points, I think, or 200, something like that. Well, it still wasn't even enough. I'm like, please, and I guess it was the Inspire, for those that was what's the Inspire reports? You could just get free stuff. They give you points, you get free stuff, and it gets shipped through Amazon, and it comes to your door the next day, type of thing. And it's just I could buy this shit off of Amazon. I don't need y'all for that. Come on now. It was just all a rip off. It was just, I'm just so tired of it. And right before all that, what sealed me to really put my my resignation in was the fact of they put me in the office once again because I wasn't screening people in properly, which I took full accountability for. I was like, I am sorry. I'm just just wasn't feeling good, was very tired again, like I expressed before. I'm tired, and of course that's no excuse, you still got a job to do and stuff like that. And the manager, he was such an asshole about it. He was just interrogating me, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? It's okay, so what are you supposed to do when you're as if I'm okay, so any other time I was doing a good job, but now I fuck up one time and now you're on my ass. It just got so tiring. It just got so tiring. And I would constantly deal with that a lot, it's just I don't want to call it for what it is, but it's just this is some black woman things that we experience in the workplace, and it just got to a point. I'm just I'm not gonna keep dealing with this. I'm not gonna keep dealing with the microaggression, the passive aggression, any aggressions. I come here, do my job, and go home. And the minute I fuck up, y'all want to be on my ass. But yet, literally a week before, I was working with another another coworker, and they were doing the same thing. They were literally letting people get screened through and just sitting around and oh, you can go through. They beeped. They oh, you go through. Yet they didn't get in trouble. They didn't get any write-ups or anything like that. And it made me so upset because I'm just the favoritism, the micromanaging. It just got out of control, and I'm just like, I'm tired of dealing with this. Like, this is not the first time at a job where I had to keep experiencing this type of stuff. And I broke down crying, and the manager, he was up there seeing me crying, and he didn't even do shit about it. He didn't even like trying to like, you know, like he just was like, I'm just like, dude, screw you, you know. And mind you, I have like, it was 2 managers. So the manager that, you know, just stood there and watched me cry, he didn't do shit. Like, he just literally was sitting in the office the whole time, just like watching me get like scolded like a fucking kid, like this, like I'm like, you could have told me all this stuff. Like, it was that much of an issue. You're my boss. Like, why is your boss telling me like, I fucked up, you know? And then they threatened to call like this company called like the ACC or whatever. I'm gonna call them the ASS because they can kiss that. But like, you know, they were like, oh, expect a call. You're gonna get a call. You know, like, this is not good. You're gonna get in a lot of trouble. You know, just basically like just guilt tripping me for, you know, doing all that. You know, and it's just like, mind you, at the same time too, with this new associate screening, a lot of the associates weren't listening to us. They literally would walk on past and, you know, yell at us, scream at us, you know, throw their bags at us and stuff. And I'm just like, I don't tolerate disrespect now either. Like, I mean, you're not gonna throw your shit at me. You're not gonna talk to me crazy either. And all the management's like, oh, just kill them with kindness. It's okay. I'm not that person though. I am not that person. I don't do stuff like that either. So it's like, okay, we're gonna have to find a middle ground here or something. So the middle ground for me was, you know, I'm done. I put my resignation in and I told it like it was. I let them know that this job was a cult and I just don't feel appreciated here. And, you know, I'm just like, I expressed multiple times I was, you know, stressed out, tired, depressed, and you guys didn't give a fuck. So I'm out. And then the manager started acting kind of, you know, more like, you know, like he's just like scared of conflict or something. I don't know. I was like, something's up with him. I was like, what is your problem? Like, do you not know how to talk to people or something? How are you a manager that don't know how to talk to people? Just, I don't know. It was weird as fuck. But, yeah. But this seems like this is an ongoing occurrence in the workforce as a Black woman. You know, it's like we always get, like, you know, we're always, and even as a kid growing up, you know, always being raised, like, we always have to do 10 times the work just to prove we're doing something. And it's just like, I'm tired of doing that. If I have to like constantly like do anything 10 times harder to just be somebody, then something's wrong with the system. Period. I shouldn't have to work 10 times harder just because of the color of my fucking skin. You know? And it's just like, now statistically, Black women more than ever are getting unemployed and getting laid off, getting pushed out the workforce in general because they just don't want us in there. They don't want us working with them, you know? And they, you know, I'm seeing comments like, oh, Black women got attitude problems. I'm like, is it really our attitudes or is it just because we just don't put up with bullshit? I think it's the latter here. I think it's because, you know, as somebody like me, I don't put up with bullshit. And I'm the type of person, if I see some BS, if I got to get to that point, I will address it and call it out for what it is. You know, and that kept happening at multiple jobs that I worked. And it just got to a point, I'm just like, I'm done with all this. I'm done feeding into the system, giving the system my time and my energy and getting little back.
So now we just sitting here looking at each other like, well,
38-year-old Shauna Pinnock Glover was laid off while on medical leave for breast cancer.
I thought FMLA was to protect me from something like this, but when it's couched in a mass layoff, then it is completely illegal. So that just started a very long and very annoying journey of trying to find something, anything else, while still in the midst of fighting for my life, going through chemo, losing my waist length locks, you know, dealing with all, like, just dealing with everything in general and trying to keep your mental health in check.
The Atlanta-based social media manager is one of thousands of Black women out of work. Some analysts estimate about 600,000 Black women lost their jobs in 2025 alone. A stark disconnect from statements like,
more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country.
The number of Black women who are unemployed now is historically high. The brunt of it, at least that which was caused in 2025, I think can be directly attributable to the new administration and some of their policies.
He says including cuts to DEI programs and departments targeted by. Sierra Gross is founder of Worklution, which operates like an employee's own HR department.
There's people who are laid off and there's people who are pushed out. So if something is going on at work and you don't feel comfortable talking to HR because
as we know, HR is there to protect the company. You can have access to completely independent HR who's not embedded within your company, but has the technical understanding.
I've seen a lot of people saying, well, maybe you have to pivot to entrepreneurship.
Since 2017, Black women have started more businesses than any other demographic, but they often generate less revenue and lack access to capital. Economist Gary Hoover of Tulane University's Murphy Institute discusses this dynamic in his latest book.
We're giving you a half-truth. We're telling you that entrepreneurship is the way forward. Here's the road, but I'm not going to tell you that the road is blocked, that the road is crooked, that parts of the road are broken, at least for you. And then I have the nerve afterwards to blame you, to say, well, how dare you be so lazy as to not become a successful entrepreneur when all of these clearly obvious roadblocks were standing in your way.
At this particular juncture in my life, I don't feel like having the capacity to embrace the entrepreneur lifestyle.
At last check, she's applied to more than 800 jobs. She has 15 years of experience developing social media strategies for well-known media brands.
The pay is crappy, doing things, I'm seeing people on social media making thousands and hundreds of dollars more, by just sitting on their computer, work at home and stuff, and, entrepreneurship. I'm like, I feel like as Black women, we need to really start entering into that and really finding our true purpose in this life and just sticking together and just really just finding out what we truly want to do, because a lot of us are so tired of this 9 to 5, because it's like, yeah, we're not meant to be there. You're tired and stressed out and drained, and you got autoimmune issues and stuff because you're not meant to be there. Your body's letting you know you're not supposed to be there. You need to go. You need to go do something else. And so from that point, because I was like, I'm not going to keep, because my body, I have PCOS, so which is also autoimmune. You can consider it that. It's like, and my nervous system is all out of control, and a whole bunch of other vitamin deficiencies, and I have an anxiety disorder and stuff like that. It's just like somebody like me is just not meant to be. It took forever to peel that one. Someone like me is just not meant to be in the workforce, and that's okay. It's just like, now I got to find something else that I can stick to. And this social media stuff, I've been doing it for years, but I never really fully took time to invest into it, because me personally, I wanted to do things to be practical and realistic. But it's just like, okay, what does that cost you though, China? It's just like, you're still not happy. You're still just doing the same ass stuff. And it's just like, okay, you might have whatever, but like, you're still stuck. And it's just like, okay, you're not doing something. You're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, and you're stuck. And now you're feeling this way. Like, why is that? So I had to kind of look within, and, and I finally took the, leap of faith, and I was like, what, I'm done with this job. And that's what I had to do. And I feel like other Black women should follow suit. Well, I shouldn't say like, because it's somebody, I know people are like, well, somebody's got to do the job. Like, what about that? And it's just kind of like, I get what y'all are saying. Like, y'all aren't wrong on that one. But at the same time, too, it's just like, and it's not just a Black woman thing per se, but just the way the system, and it's just the way the system is set up for everybody here. It's just like, again, this is like modern day slavery. Nobody should have to be working their life away, having to work 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs just to make ends meet, and then you're still behind on bills. Make it make sense. It's not making sense here at all for anybody anymore. And so I gotta fix this lighting, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all can barely see me. All y'all see is this light. Let me see something. Just turn around. That better? That look better? Kinda. Oh, I'm gonna have to invest in a ring light or something, but no, it's just as bad. Hold on. I gotta learn, now I'm in my learning era, learning how to do lighting and, being used to being on seeing my face on the camera. Cause I'm like, oh, who's that? No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm just like, I'm ready to be free and be done. And I'm not about to keep continuing to feed into a system that does not want me there and does not like me and hated me since day one. I'm just done giving into that. Like, it's just not fair. So I'm just like, there's got to be better out here for us. Like, there's got to be. And I'm gonna make it out on my own regardless. So all I gotta say is expect more videos coming from me. And that was kind of like my little story time of why I quit my 9 to 5, why Black women in particular need to leave the workforce, leave the 9 to 5s, start looking into entrepreneurship, or, you know, a trade or something. Because yeah, it's just like, if they don't want us, like, they're telling us to our face, like, loud and clear, they don't want us there, and they're doing every little trick by the book to get us up out of there. So it's just like, you have to protect yourself and just, you know, have discernment and watch your back, because, you know, it's just like going to work, you're not there to make friends, your coworkers are not your friends. Do your job and go home, you know. But it's just like, to think if they're going to keep expecting you to give your 110% when the pay's not matching and there's no applauding when you do it, it's not worth it anymore. And it's just like, yeah, time to look for something else. So yeah, that's my message for today. And I'm gonna try to, message for today. Expect more videos to come out soon. I will be talking more. I have a Krishan video I'm working on, and, you know, to say that she's, you know, not a good mom, and other videos. And if you have like suggestions on videos I can make, or talk about subjects or topics you want me to talk about, let me know too. Because yeah, there's so much to talk about. This is infinite, you know. And it's just like, another thing I want to add is, people are like, oh, well, the social media, stuff like that, that's all oversaturated. I'm like, what area and field is not oversaturated? That's why the job market's the way it is, because it's all oversaturated. But there's, you know, it's never, it's like, it might, there's how'd that quote go? It's like it's 100%, but it's never like, there's never a 0% chance. I don't know how it goes. But yeah, I'm like, get in where you can fit in, you know. It's just like, it's all about finding what works for you, and, you know, not settling for less, and not putting up with anybody's BS or mess in either, you know, whether it's a job or a manager or any of that stuff. Because it's just like, we don't get paid enough for none of it. So
job. The fact that you always feel tired, irritated, a little sad for no reason, it's the job. Because when you're outside enjoying the weather, eating some good food, hanging out with people that you love, reading the book that you love, doing the things that you love, you see how happy you be? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, sometimes it's not your mindset. It's not that, oh, you're stuck or you just negative. No.
Yeah, that's my message and my take. If you really enjoyed my video, I'm also on TikTok. I have Instagram. I do like modeling and stuff. Doing YouTube. I also have my gaming channel here on YouTube too. I do some gaming live on TikTok Live. I do that too every now and again. So I will leave links below. You know, if you really enjoy my videos, please share, like, and subscribe. And, you know, I'll see you in the next video. And I'm going to show y'all a picture of this potato salad after I'm done. Y'all want to see my potato salad? Y'all want to see it? Okay. I'm going to show y'all. Okay. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay. There goes my yum-malicious potato salad. It was a hit at the party.